Hmm. So what you're telling me is this man right here is not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Bill Belichick? Really? I was walking through my living room and I saw the story and I almost fell over. Okay, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then who is? Who the hell qualifies? What's the criteria? Let's talk facts, not opinions. 8 Super Bowl rings, the most by any individual in NFL history. 6 as a head coach with the Patriots. 2 more as a defensive coordinator. Yeah, people forget that part. Before the Patriots dynasty, before Brady, before the hoodies and the press conferences, Bill Belichick was the architect and the defensive coordinator for arguably one of the greatest defenses of all time, the New York Giants. Back when the Giants were dominant in the late 80s and early 90s. 2 Super Bowl championships. Old school, smash mouth defense first football. And that defense, ooh, good Lord. Lawrence Taylor. I think Ron Jaworski's still having nightmares. Arguably the greatest defensive player ever, and one of 2 people to only win the MVP as a defensive player. Some people say the greatest football player of all time. And Bill Belichick was the mind behind it, the architect, the strategist, the guy designing the game plans that unleashed LT and wrecked entire offenses. So before he ever touched New England, he was already winning rings, already building historic defenses, already changing the game. Then comes the Patriots run. 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. 12 total Super Bowl appearances. 31 playoff wins. The most in NFL history. 17 division titles. The most ever. 333 total wins. Second most in NFL history, only to Don Shula. Think about that for a second. Out of every coach to ever do this, he's number 2 all time. 3 Coach of the Year awards, all decade teams, NFL 100 all-time team, 20 years of dominance. That's not luck. That's not a system. And it's definitely not just Brady. That's coaching greatness. That's ownership of an entire era of football. And somehow he failed to get 40 out of the 50 votes needed to make the Hall of Fame first ballot, which means at least 10 voters looked at that resume and said, nah, not first ballot. So what is it? Is this punishment for Spygate in 2007, for Deflategate in 2014, or just jealousy because nobody could beat him and his teams when it actually mattered? Because on the field, nobody stopped him. Nobody could stop the Patriots. For 20 years, the entire league was chasing one team, New England. Here's the real question. Can you write the history of the NFL without Bill Belichick? Try it. You can't talk about Lawrence Taylor without him. You can't talk about those Giants championships without him. You can't talk about the Patriots dynasty without him. You can't talk about the 2000s. You can't talk about the 2010s. 2 franchises, 4 decades, 8 rings. Defense, offense, preparation, game planning. If there was anyone who literally changed the game in the NFL, it was Bill Belichick. The entire league adjusted because of him. Teams weren't just chasing the Lombardi. They were chasing New England. That's not just winning. That's influence. That's legacy. That's changing the game. So how do you have a Hall of Fame without the guy who's reshaped the league for 40 years? You can't. first ballot, no debate, no politics, just football. Because if you can't tell the story of the NFL without someone, that's a Hall of Famer. Day one, Bill Belichick, he definitely changed the game.